Seeing ourselves clearly, seeing others, seeing what we don't want to admit. Sometimes clarity is uncomfortable, but in that discomfort is the potential for deep healing. Hey everyone, welcome to A Talk with G, the podcast where we explore ancient wisdom, modern wellness, and, well, everything in between. I'm your host, Gia, and today we are embarking on episode 6 of our Chakra Healing with Shadow Work series. Today's journey is into the energy center of intuition, clarity, and inner knowing, our third eye chakra, also called Anja in Sanskrit. This episode is for anyone and for everyone who's ever felt lost in the confusion, stuck in overthinking, or just disconnected from your inner wisdom. If you struggle to trust yourself or feel aligned with your purpose, you're not alone. You see, our third eye chakra is our seat of perception. It is where our intuition lives, where our insight flows, and where our mind, body, and spirit begin to unify. But when this chakra is clouded, it can feel like we've lost our sense of direction, like we're always searching for answers outside of ourselves instead of within. That's where the shadow work comes in. Because sometimes the reason we can't hear our intuition is because it's being drowned out by fear, doubt, or a past condition. Today, we're going to explore what the third eye chakra is and how it functions, and ways it gets blocked. We'll talk about the spiritual and psychological imbalancements that keep us from clarity and trust. And most importantly, how to begin clearing that fog through practices of visualization, breath work, and reconnecting with our inner voice. We'll begin to restore this sacred center of wisdom. So, whether you're looking for clarity, guidance, or just a deeper connection with your intuition, this one's for you. Let's open up our inner eye together. Let's step into the sixth energy center of our journey, our third eye chakra, known in Sanskrit as Anjana, which means command or perception. This isn't just a chakra. It is the seat of our inner wisdom, our ability to see beyond the physical, to trust our inner voice, and receive intuitive guidance from within. The third eye chakra is located right between our eyebrows, and it is often associated with the pineal gland, a small endocrine gland in the brain that plays a role in regulating sleep and consciousness. In spiritual traditions, this gland has been referred to as the seat of the soul. Kind of gives you chills, doesn't it? Now, while earlier chakras are about grounding, feeling, expressing, and loving, the third eye chakra is where we shift into the realm of insight. It's about seeking the truth, not just what's in front of you physically, but what lies beneath the surface. That deep knowing, that gut instinct, the quiet whisper that says, this is the path. In ancient yogic texts and Tantra philosophy, the third eye is considered a gateway to higher consciousness. When this chakra is activated, we begin to see beyond duality, beyond right and wrong, light and dark. We begin to understand that the outer world is a reflection of our inner state, and that our perception shapes our reality. The element associated with this chakra isn't one of the traditional 5. It's light, or intuition. It symbolizes clarity, vision, and awareness. And its color? Think deep indigo, like the night sky, mysterious, expansive, and full of possibilities. Visualizing this color during meditation can help awaken the center and bring calmness to an overactive mind. In Ayurveda, this chakra is connected to our Vata dosha, especially the air and ether elements that governs our mind and nervous system. Our third eye is balanced. There's mental clarity, intuition, and focus. But when in balance, especially when Vata is out of control, it manifests as anxiety, indecision, scattered thinking, or feeling completely disconnected from our inner compass. A healthy Anja allows you to tune in instead of checking out. It lets you trust your instincts, follow your soul guidance, and move through life with a quiet inner confidence. But when this chakra is blocked, it can feel like you're walking through a fog. You might feel overwhelmed by choices, stuck in mental loops, or constantly second guessing yourself. As we dive more into today's episode, we're going to get to the reason this powerful chakra can shut down, how conditioning and self doubt play into it, and how we can begin to reconnect with our inner vision. Because the truth is, our intuition is not broken, it's always been there, waiting for us to listen. So, now that we have gotten a feel for what this chakra is really about, let's talk about what happens when this energy center gets blocked and why it happens in the first place. One of the biggest reasons is overthinking. In our fast paced, overstimulated world, we are constantly bombarded with information social media, news, opinions, comparison, fear. Our mind gets loud. And our third eye, it needs stillness to thrive. When we are constantly in mental chatter, we are drowning out that deeper inner voice. It's like trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a rock concert. Impossible. Another huge one is self doubt. We've all had moments where we knew something, felt it deep in our bones, but then we second guessed ourselves, talked ourselves out of it, or got convinced by someone else's opinion. If this happens over and over again, we start to lose trust in our inner guidance. Our third eye starts to dim, not because your intuition isn't working, but because you've stopped listening. This one, I will argue to the ground with everyone because everyone swears they don't listen to outside source. And everyone is honest enough to believe that they're conditioned to the way they were raised and acting on how they behave now. If you haven't guessed it, it's societal conditioning. You see, this one plays a massive role. We're often taught to view logic over intuition, to be realistic, to follow the rules. But intuition isn't always logical. It doesn't come with a checklist or a PowerPoint presentation. It's subtle, quiet. And when we've been raised in an environment that does not honor our inner knowing, we learn to ignore it. We are praised for being smart, but not for being wise. Another common block is fear of seeing the truth. You see, our third eye asks us to see clearly, and sometimes that means facing things we rather not. It could be a relationship that's no longer aligned, a job that is draining you, or a pattern that you've been repeating out of comfort. When we avoid those truths, our third eye shuts down in self protection. And finally, let's talk about spiritual bypassing or disconnection. Sometimes we get so caught up in the spiritual world that we escape into fantasy, always seeking signs or answers outside of ourselves, pulling cards, checking horoscopes, or jumping from one practice to the next. Without grounding into our own inner wisdom, the third eye does not thrive in confusion or escapism. It thrives in discernment and being able to feel what's true for you in the quiet moments. So, if you've ever felt your intuition is foggy, it's constantly overanalyzing, struggling to trust yourself, or avoiding the deeper truths within you, you're not alone. These blocks are common, and they're also healable. Shadow work helps us identify where those blocks came from so we can start untangling the fear, the programming, the overthinking, and return to that clear, intuitive, powerful part of ourselves that's always been there. The third eye chakra, or Anjan, teaches us to see beyond what's visible. It's the seat of wisdom. I keep saying that. It's the seat of spiritual insight, of clarity beyond the noise. And the core lesson here is trust yourself. This chakra asks you to go inward for answers, not outward. It is the energy of discernment, the learning of quieting your mind enough to hear your intuition and actually believe it. And when the center is open and balanced, you begin to live with more clarity, more ease, and more alignment. You do not need to force everything. You're guided. One of the key themes of this chakra is the truth versus illusion. This isn't just about seeing the truth in the world, it's about seeing your own truth. What stories have you been telling yourself? What narratives have you inherited that no longer serve you? Our third eye helps you peel back the layers of conditioning, ego, and fear so you can get to the core of who you really are. It's also about intuition versus intellect. Now, this isn't about rejecting logic. Both the mind and intuition have their place. But when the third eye is in balance, you're not just reacting from logic or emotion, you're responding from a deeper knowing. You move through life with inner alignment. Another powerful theme is imagination and vision. You see, this is what this chakra allows you to do, to see the future before it's real, to visualize your dream and hold a bigger vision, to co create with the universe. When your anja is clear, your imagination becomes a tool for manifestation. You're not just dreaming, you're remembering what's possible. And on a shadow level, the third eye brings us face to face with our fears around seeing. Seeing ourselves clearly, seeing others, seeing what we don't want to admit. Sometimes clarity is uncomfortable, but in that discomfort is the potential for deep healing. So the lessons of the third eye isn't about perfection. They're about returning to that quiet place inside of you that you already know. It's about shedding illusion, trusting your inner voice, and letting that be your compass, even when it means going against the grain. Now, when our third eye chakra is out of balance, it doesn't just affect our thoughts and our spiritual connection. It also shows up physically in some pretty specific ways. One of the most common specific symptoms, or one of the most common physical symptoms, are headaches, especially tension headaches, migraines, or that heavy, foggy feeling behind the eyes or forehead. Since this chakra is located right between the brows, any buildup or blockage here can manifest as pressure in the head or even as sinus issues. You might also notice problems with vision, blurry sight, strained eyes from too much screen time, or even issues like dry eyes or light sensitivity. These physical signs are often your body's way of saying you're not seeing clearly internally or externally. On an emotional or energetic level, a blocked third eye can also show up as a mental fog. Have you ever had the feeling that you can't focus or you're just not sure why? Do you tend to overthink or always second guess yourself? You see, you might, I know I do, I did at times, feel disconnected from my intuition, unsure of what's real or what path to take, or actually noticing being stuck in patterns of fear and illusion. It can even feel like you're numb to life, going through the motions without really seeing or feeling what's going on around you. Now, from an Ayurvedic lens, this chakra is closely tied to Vata, which governs movement, mental activity, and the nervous system. When Vata is aggravated through overstimulations, lack of routine, or too much screen time, it can throw the chakra completely off. Our anxiety starts to rise. We start to feel spacey, or we even start having trouble sleeping due to an overactive mind. But there's also a pitta connection here, especially when we talk about mental burnout or over analyzing perfectionism or trying to control everything with logic. Too much fire in the mind can block the gentle wisdom of an intuition from coming through. To support the third eye in the Ayurvedic way, we want to calm the mind and nourish the nervous system. This means warm, grounding foods, digital detox, self massaging with common oils, and daily rituals that help you tune in, like meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence. You see, it's not about adding more noise, it's about creating space for your inner voice to rise. When it comes to healing this chakra, meditation is one of the most powerful tools we can work with because this chakra is all about inner vision, intuition, and mental clarity. The healing work here often happens in stillness, in those quiet spaces where your deeper wisdom can actually come through. One of the most beautiful practices to begin with is tartaka, or candle gazing. Sit in a quiet space, light a candle, and gently gaze at the flame without blinking for as long as you can, and as long as you're comfortable too. This simple yet ancient practice helps strengthen your concentration and awakens your intuitive centers of the brain. After a few minutes, close your eyes and observe the after image behind your eyelids, your inner light. Another favorite of mine is visualizing meditation. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and bring your awareness to the space between your brows. Imagine a deep indigo or violet light swirling. It's like opening up a small galaxy. As you breathe into the space, ask your higher self or your intuition to step forward. You don't need to force anything. Just allow thoughts and images or feelings to flow without judgment. And if you feel like nothing's coming through right away, that's okay. Sometimes it takes more than one try to get somewhere. You can also try silently repeating mantras like Om or Sham, both associated with the third eye. Chanting these sounds not only vibrates through our entire being, but also clears stuck energy and brings our focus inward. And of course, there are some affirmations that are a beautiful way to reprogram our subconscious mind. Try these affirmations during your morning routine or right before bed. There's only a few of them that I personally like to use. I trust my intuition. My inner wisdom is my guide. I release doubt and welcome clarity. I am connected to my highest self. Repeat them slowly and don't just say the words. Feel them. Let them resonate in your body. Let them become the truth of who you're actively reclaiming. Remember, the more you tune into your inner world, the clearer your outer world becomes. Meditation and affirmations for the third eye aren't about escaping reality. They're about aligning more deeply with your truth. Now, one of my favorites that even I feel like I don't have time to do all the time, but I make time. Journaling. Journaling for our third eye chakra is all about reconnecting with our inner truth, exploring our intuition, and questioning the stories that might be clouding our vision. This is where shadow work really meets spirituality. I have a few prompts to share with you guys. These prompts, they're not just about surface level reflection. They are an invitation to go deeper, to get honest about what's real, what's an illusion, and where your inner guidance is trying to lead you. So, grab a journal, notebook, whichever you want, light a candle, and take some time with these that I'm going to give you. The first one, I think that's the most important and the most overlooked question. When do I feel more connected or most connected to my intuition? What does that feel like in my body? Let that prompt help you build awareness of how you intuitively actually communicate with yourself. Next, what would trusting myself more fully look like and feel like? This is your invitation to start walking in alignment with your truth. And the last one, it could be fun, it could be more of a daunting one. What beliefs or thoughts, patterns might have been clouding my ability to see clearly? Sometimes it's fear or conditioning that blocks our inner vision. Naming them gives you the power to shift them. You see, these prompts are here to help you peel back the layers. Think of an onion. So you peel back the layers of the onion and you get to the center. That's what you really want. So using that metaphor, you can remember what's always been within you: clarity, wisdom, and divine guidance. When it comes to awakening and balancing our third eye, yoga can be a powerful tool. You're not just moving your body, you're aligning with deeper insight, stimulating your pineal gland, and activating your inner awareness. I have a few poses that I recommend that you guys take a chance on, and they're here to quiet the mind, relieve tension in the head and neck, and draw awareness inward. They're gentle, meditative, and designed to help you listen to your own inner guidance. Here's a few. The first one I love, and I always mispronounce this, so forgive me if I do. Sukhasan plus our mudra. It's an easy pose with Agaya mudra. Sit comfortably with your spine tall, rest your hands on your knees, and with your index fingers and thumb touching the Gaya mudra, close your eyes and focus on the space between your brows. You're probably like, okay, this is just meditating. It is, but it's also allowing your spine to sit tall. Many times, many of us don't sit tall, even when we say we're meditating. We start to slouch. The practice in this is to allow the energy to flow from your base to your third eye and back around. Think of a loop. The next one is Vipratra Kiran. It's when your legs are up against the wall, the leg wall pose. This restorative pose relaxes the body and allows fresh energy to circulate to the upper chakras. It's perfect for releasing stress and connecting to your intuitive space. And the last one I like to do, but everyone kind of goes through it, and it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's Balasan, or child pose. Rest your head on the mat or a block. Then gently put pressure on the third eye point. After doing this, you start to realize it's soothing. You start to feel more grounded, and it helps to quiet the mental chatter. Start to draw your focus inward. You see, the three I gave you are three that I find the easiest to do no matter where you are. And it doesn't take a lot because yoga is not about the poses. It's about reconnecting with yourself. The key here is stillness and presence. Let each pose be a doorway into a deeper awareness, not just of your physical body, but your inner world. Trust what you feel. Trust what you see with your inner eye. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining me in the deep dive into our third eye chakra. If you made it this far in the series, take a moment to honor yourself. You've been showing up, tuning in, and doing the inner work. And that's powerful because even if you're just listening, that's starting. That's the first step. Our third eye chakra is a sacred space. It's where illusion falls away and the truth begins to rise. When this chakra is balanced, we begin to trust our own inner guidance more than the outside noise. We remember that we already hold so much wisdom and that our intuition isn't something we have to find, it's something we have to listen to. As always, if this episode resonates with you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend, leave a review, or tag me on social media so I can see your reflections. Don't forget, if you want to go deeper, the Third Eye Chakra Healing Workbook is now available. It's filled with guided journal prompts, Ayurvedic rituals, shadow work exercise, meditations, and practices to support you reclaim your intuitive gifts. And you can also join us for the Third Eye Chakra Workshop. It's a beautiful space to connect with others on this path and receive real time guidance with healing practices. Next up, we'll be exploring our crown chakra, the final stop on the chakra healing journey. It's all about spiritual connection, divine wisdom, and coming home to your higher self. Until then, keep listening inward, trust your knowing, and remember, your truth is sacred.